God, I have the worst voice.
Hello and welcome to the Mighty Fish Podcast. I'm Ryan.
And I'm Josh.
And we are here today on a very special episode to talk about...
We're going to talk about drugs and molestation.
Yeah, actually this is your brain on drugs. This is your brain not on drugs. It's kind of the same. So just do drugs. No, but we're here to talk about Star Wars The Last Jedi.
The Last Jedi. Ryan.
Yes, sir.
Up front, are we doing spoilers?
Okay. So I thought about this.
Yeah.
And initially my plan was going to be to do a quick section spoiler-free.
Yes.
And then go into full-on spoilers.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be hard to do that, but I wonder if you would like to continue along that path. Or if you'd like to just upfront spoilers.
Let's go ahead and talk, and then when we feel like we're going to get into spoiler territory, let's drop that warning.
All right, fair enough. I can agree with
Because
that.
there's a lot to talk about.
There is.
And there's a lot that we can't talk about with spoilers. I think we can give our initial thoughts up front and then go from there.
Okay. Fair enough.
And then get into plot details,
all that good
character
stuff.
motivations, loves and losses.
All that typical Hollywood jazz. Okay, you know what, Josh? Fine. Tell me how you felt about Star Wars The Last Jedi.
I'm going first.
I'll go first if you want me to.
No, I'll go.
But you didn't set me up for it.
I didn't at all.
So I figure you should just go.
Fucking hated it. No.
Yeah. Worst piece of garbage.
Worst piece of shit I've ever seen. JJ and Ryan Johnson just
lost fan.
No. God, dude, it's funny, dude. You set me up. I didn't set you up. We just left the theater.
We did, yeah. It's about 1:20 in the morning.
Yeah, it's 1:20 in the morning. We got out, 12:50?
Yeah. 12:30ish, yeah.
12:30, 12, yeah. I'm still trying to filter everything, and I hope through the conversation we'll be able to come to something.
That's what I'm hoping as well, because I will say as well that it's like I'm processing.
Yeah.
And for the first time, obviously, I don't know, I guess in a while, I'm kind of like, I definitely need to see this movie again.
Yeah.
Not to be like, whether I can tell you I liked it or not, but to like fully get everything that was going on in this movie.
Yeah.
I guess that's one thing we can say.
To really figure
a lot. It's a big one.
It's a lot of plot.
Yeah, a lot.
It's not complex or anything like that. It's a Star Wars movie.
But it's certainly more complex than The Force Awakens.
Much more complex. It's I would say dense.
Denser,
it's much more dense. There's a
more
lot.
dense. Sure. No, I know denser isn't a word.
Did I say denser?
No, I did.
Oh, okay. Whatever. I got you, dude. There's just a whole lot that goes on in this movie. I'm gonna say I liked it.
Okay.
And hopefully I'm able to maintain that. There's a lot that I don't like about it.
Okay.
There's a lot I don't like about it. It walks for me a very fine line between some of the better parts of the prequels and some of what I absolutely loved about Empire and Return.
And Return, yeah.
Return of the Jedi. Wait for that. Everybody knows by now Luke's in it and everything. So
yeah.
Rey, Kylo, Luke, out of the gate, loved everything they did with those guys. Even Snoke. I was very interested in Snoke.
As we're talking, because I'm like, and I hate to cut you off, but I'm just like, I agree with you too. There was a lot that I disliked, but the parts that I did like,
see, and that's where I'm having this struggle, dude, because there are parts that I genuinely love, and there are parts that I absolutely hate.
I was a bad sign for me when I'm watching a movie is I usually go all in and I'm out of my head. That's like what I like about movies the most. I don't really go through shit in my head too often.
You become a part of the world.
I remember there are parts of this movie that I was literally thinking, how long are we going to be doing this?
I zoned out a couple times.
And then, like, honestly, like, analyzing it as it's happening, and I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, like, this could have been cut down. They needed to trim this. Why is that dialogue in there?
Yeah, that's usually reserved for, like, deep discussions about a movie, and that's a bad sign. But you're right. As you're talking, I'm just, like, getting pumped over here.
Oh, yeah. No, dude. Everything with Luke and Rey and Kylo is fantastic. Especially between Rey and Kylo. I really liked what they did with the two of them. And I loved the way that they did Luke in this. I was not expecting it to be as heavy as it was for Luke. They did a really good job writing him.
Oh, yeah.
He was fantastic.
And I heard that he was initially insulted by the first draft of the script that he read.
No, that's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I read an article.
And then I guess, he as he thought about it, he, like, started to love it. But
see, because I read I read a headline that said he was upset because they stepped away from Lucas's original vision. And I was like, well, Lucas's vision isn't Lucas's vision, so.
Yeah. You know. Half the plot was made in editing.
Yeah, I mean,
using mixed together shots.
When you go into the original Star Wars, you have to look at everything about it. Like Lucas didn't do that on his own. He had a brilliant idea that captured the minds of. I don't want to insult Lucas by saying more competent filmmakers, but better people that were able to build upon his fantastic foundation.
Better filmmakers is fine, I think, to say, because I don't think Lucas is a passionate filmmaker. I think he's passionate about ideas.
He's an amazing idea man.
Yeah, he's an idea man. He doesn't want to. The man doesn't want to go through all the rigmarole.
Yeah.
You know what
he doesn't want to deal with actors, and everyone knows that.
He went through hell making the first Star Wars, and it was kind of
Yeah.
And then he brought in talent to save the movie.
His wife did amazing editing, and
I don't know. I hate to go into this, like we're on a Last Jedi review, but
I'm sorry that
but like to put it into perspective, like. All the ideas are there. Nothing of his vision got cut. All of that is his stuff. But like, what made it function as a good film was other people. Like, there was no tension in the initial cut of the movie. The whole Death Star sequence, they weren't gonna blow up the Rebel base.
Yeah,
it was just floating out in space, and they literally edited in pickup shots and reused shots from when they blew up Alderaan and like. All sorts of random.
Well, they went and kind of rewrote his script and stuff like that.
And
punched
then
it up a bit.
Completely in editing created the whole tension of them blowing up the Rebel base. That wasn't even a thing. That was like dubbed over dialogue with like pickup shots from back when it's crazy. But so like
there's a fantastic documentary about it.
So like
everybody should check it out.
So like but
I can't remember the name of it.
But all of what he came up with is what created all of this. But like his world is great. His filmmaking is lackluster. This new trilogy is like taking what he created and like expanding on it, on the idea of it, and introducing like a whole new modern filmmaking. It's crazy.
One of the most prevalent lines in the film that didn't annoy the shit out of me every time someone uttered it, because there is mantras that are uttered within this film that drove me nuts.
Yeah. And
the one that I liked, it was something that Kylo says, and he says, "You need to let the past die."
Yeah.
And I really think that sums up perfectly what we're trying to say. And what what Mark Hamill realized. And let this be what it is. Because this is really the first movie that tries to make this stand on its own legs, and I think it's wobbly, but I think it's taken its first steps, and I can't wait to see what we're going to do with the third movie.
We've officially stepped away.
Yeah. So yeah, I liked it. I had a lot of problems with the other half of the movie, the Poe, Finn, the First Order, the Rebellion, because they're the Rebellion now, they're not the Resistance.
Yes.
I don't know if that's a spoiler or not, because, like, you knew that was where it was going to go anyway.
Yeah.
Which, like, we'll get into in the spoiler half, I imagine.
I guess I'll sum up mine by saying I really liked the movie. I imagine I have a lot of the same gripes with you, and unfortunately, this is a movie where it's like, oh man, I loved it, or I really liked the whole thing. The reason that it goes down to like I liked it or I really liked it is because there's loved it mixed with hated it.
Yeah, like I said,
so
there's parts that I absolutely
that's
hate,
unfortunate. I would have much rather the whole movie been I liked it.
Yeah. And this isn't a mediocre film by any stretch.
Yeah.
It was a very good movie. It's very solid, competent. It's all done very well. It's just that there are a lot of segments in the movie that could have been cut entirely, trimmed way down, written better.
Yeah, all my gripes with it aren't about its Star Warsiness.
No, because it's very
It's
Star
all
Wars.
about the filmmaking in it.
Yeah.
Whereas like people had gripes with Force Awakens for how it fit into Star Wars.
Yeah.
This one, and like I said, we'll get into it a little bit later. But this one, the Star Wars has started again.
There was the one thing that I feel like the glaring flaw with it for me, one of the biggest flaws, is that it seemed like they doubled down on one of the major complaints about Force Awakens. And I didn't see it so much in Force Awakens, and in this, it was just like, oh, come on. You know, like, we're going to do this.
I wonder.
And we're going to do this.
I wonder what you're talking about.
We'll get into it.
Well, is there anything else to say?
Do you have anything?
No, because I really want to know what you're talking about.
Okay.
All right. Spoilers.
Sorry, that was a little brief, but there's really not. You have to see it for yourself.
Go see it.
Go see it for yourself.
It's a great addition.
I didn't leave angry. I didn't leave upset. It's just that I have some issues that I got to work through, and that was like we said at the top, dude. We're still trying to figure out where we are. Yeah. So from here on out, dudes and dudettes. Spoilers. Spoilers.
You have been warned.
You have been warned. Here there be monsters.
Yes. All right, Josh. What are you?
What am I talking
the doubling down on the complaint you didn't see, but that they doubled down on.
Everybody talked about in Force Awakens. They took this from this movie, and they did this, and this is just a repeat of this scene, and this is just a repeat of that scene. In this, you literally get the elevator ride between Vader and Luke up to see the Emperor, and that whole scene with Snoke and Kylo and Rey is my only thing, my only problem with that bit. Yes, it ends very differently.
Oh, yeah.
Extremely differently. And I liked that last minute. It needed, for me, that last minute twist where Kylo's like, no, it's you and me now.
Yeah.
We're in this together. That was great, because I liked they did that thing that we talked about. You can't redeem Kylo.
It saved it, because you're right. And I'm less annoyed by it than you are, but...
It was just.
But I remember thinking in my head, I'm just like, I was. It wasn't even what I was thinking. I was thinking of what people were gonna say about it.
That's funny.
And I was just like, oh yeah, well they just, no, it wasn't just Empire. It was also. There was a
lot of Return and a lot of Empire, like I said at the beginning. But then like the one that I laughed at and I laughed out loud about was when they get finally to the Crystal Planet.
Yes. And,
like, it's Hoth.
Yeah, no.
It's the Battle of Hoth.
And that was what I was going to say. It's like, and then I was thinking there that people were going to be like, oh, so they just flipped the beginning of the movie with the end of the movie.
Yeah. But then, like, the thing that made me laugh was, to let you know it's not the same, is they have a Resistance soldier lick the white and go, oh, it's salt. Oh, so it's not snow. It's totally different. I was just like, why did you do that?
I felt like that was weird and pointless. I didn't take that from it, but But if you remember what I said in the last episode, which people hopefully have listened to, because I only got it out like 2 days before this.
I was gonna say it was out yesterday morning, I think.
But fucking people, no matter how different it is, people are gonna pick and choose why it's the same.
Of course.
And those similarities are gonna be there. But what I thought you were gonna say is the complaint that you didn't see the first time that they did. If you thought people were calling Rey a fucking Mary Sue last movie, it's gonna get way worse.
See, I didn't see that at all in this one. She was struggling so much with this.
I know, but I hate to like jump to the end here. Like, I know we're in spoilers, but I still kind of want to have a little bit of a flow to this.
Oh yeah.
Before we just start dropping spoilers left or right, but like.
Oh, I already dropped two huge ones.
But Rian Johnson's a fucking liar. Rey is the last Jedi.
Oh, yeah.
She's literally in charge of rebuilding the Jedi Order.
Pretty much.
With no help, except for the books that she stole that we thought were destroyed.
That we thought went up in smoke when Luke lit it on. When Yoda lit it on fire.
Spoiler town. Which is funny because I really liked that, but at the same time, I'm just kind of like, well, Yoda knew the shit wasn't in there. That was just a symbolic gesture.
Exactly. No, and I love that. And
I felt like it diminished that whole thing, though.
I was just going to say
because
that.
He's I thought he's like, burn the text. You need to teach her your failures. You need to be there. You can do it. And then it was just like, you fucked with Kylo. You helped the rebellion. And now she's on her own with the texts I said were unnecessary to rebuild the Jedi Order. But I get that he's going to be... I get that fucking Mark Hamill is going to be a Force ghost.
He's Obi-Wan.
He's going to be Obi-Wan.
I think for both of them.
Yeah.
I think for both
Oh,
of
that's
them.
right. Because, he's like, I'm going to fucking be there.
Yeah. Even though he doesn't strike him down. We'll get into that in a bit.
Yeah. Well, and that's where I kind of disagreed with you about the world-building aspect. The political landscape is still a mess.
Dude, the political landscape, the entire structure of the galaxy, I'm still trying to figure out.
Yeah, and especially when it comes to the worst portion of the movie and the theme and the themes in which it was going, because
it was so heavy-handed and so half-assed at the same time.
So half-assed, and I feel like I've always liked from the extended universe, which I guess is Star Wars Legends now. I always like the whole like people realize that the fight between the fucking Sith and the Jedi is kind of the galaxy's whole problem, and I guess what this movie is trying to harp on is like war.
Yeah, they're all the same.
What a nightmare.
Yeah.
Oh, this guy...
Benicio del Toro in the most useless role of all time.
I liked him. But plot convenience character, to the max.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Holy shit, that was the laziest thing.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't seen something
He was the best Deus Ex Machina I've ever seen, dude.
and he was a Deus Ex Machina and a MacGuffin.
Oh, yeah.
It was amazing. He was completely useless to the plan. He ended up being worthless, and he was there to save the day.
Yeah.
Without actually doing it.
Yeah. Well, to clue people in that give a shit about
dude, and I guess we're going to be all over the place. Hopefully, if you're listening to this, you've seen the movie. We've been over it a million times that this is pretty much Friend Simulator shit.
Exactly.
Or you don't give a shit, and you're just like, I'm going to listen to all the spoilers.
Exactly. We start off... And
let's just go through the plot. Yeah, let's do this.
We start off with the evacuation of Hoth.
With the evacuation of Hoth, yes.
That's a joke. I mean, like...
It's much different.
It's much different, but it's the same, but it's also done much more differently than I feel like the two that I brought up were done.
Yeah, and it made Poe Dameron a character.
It made Poe Dameron a great character. I really enjoyed it.
I love the beginning of this movie.
Oh, it was great.
It's basically
it was absolutely
beginning,
great.
First act, third act, some of the best shit in all of Star Wars. Honestly, I believe that.
And in the center, you've got Luke and Rey and Kylo.
And there's good in the
center. They carry everything through the second act.
Yeah, basically, you're right. So in the second act, there's one because it's Star Wars and intercuts. So one of them is good, and the other one is like so fucking like Attack of the Clones level bad.
Yes.
And what sucks is that it's like
integral.
I remember saying to you, like, I'm really interested in that because I'm not against Space Italy and I'm not against overly ridiculous settings.
That could have been very interesting.
And that wasn't the problem.
No.
It was the themes, the MacGuffin,
the dialogue.
The dialogue. Rose Tico, trash character.
She sucks.
Yeah. Finn apparently just became. They were just like, oh shit.
We have to do something with this guy now. Yeah, we have to do something.
It was
with
nothing,
this guy, and they didn't do anything with him.
He's a trash character at this point.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah.
But this is another complaint that I had was instead of having one huge weapon to destroy, now there's 3 of them. You know, and it was just like, oh my god, guys, oh my god. Oh my god. And by the time Luke shows up to save the day, I was just like, are we fucking really? How much longer is this movie gonna go on?
It's long. I understand.
On the tail end of it, I lost my patience.
Yeah, no, for sure. But I understand wanting to make, like, showing they're down in the dumps. It's a second act, and a 3-act structure, and they're outgunned at this point. They're no longer the whole fleet was blown up by Starkiller Base. But then it's like, but now it's like they have huge firepower over and over and over again. I was like, we get it. They're outgunned.
Yeah,
we get it.
But it was like you get this huge the fleet. They're evacuating their planet from Force Awakens.
One, yeah.
From Force Awakens.
The Ilenium system.
Thank you.
Yes.
Ilenium or Ilenian?
Ilenium.
Okay.
I don't know. You might be right.
I don't know. You would know more than me. You watched Force Awakens a bajillion times. I only watched it like a million times.
Yeah. Well, $500 billion. I was so glad you had to watch it. I almost looked over to see if you had closed your eyes and plugged your ears.
Oh, no. I watched.
Anyway, we're talking about Ready Player One, but that's terribly unimportant. Continue.
Rabbit Trail real quick.
But was I not right that it was at least a better trailer that showed it was a movie?
A much better trailer, and I was going to tell you, I meant to tell you this the other day when we were talking about it, it will work better as a movie than it did as a book.
Oh, okay.
I really think it'll lend itself much better to film than it will.
Because it's less like...
And plus, like, Spielberg's the right guy to do it.
Yeah. Okay, wow. Holy shit, from, like, the angry man you've been...
Oh, I fucking hate that book. I hate it with a passion. It's one of the worst fucking books I ever read. I might see the movie out of curiosity.
Oh, I'm definitely gonna fucking watch it.
But, like, it just annoys me. But it's everything that I hate about modern geek culture,
yeah.
quote
Well,
unquote.
and I was going to say, to turn myself into a total douchebag that you're all going to cringe at right now, I'm going to watch it ironically. You know what I mean?
I that's probably how I'm going to watch it too. So, but yeah, anyway, back on topic.
Yes.
So
they're evacuating
the planet because, and this is where it started, it confused me right off the bat.
The crawl was confusing in the first place.
Yes. Because the First Order is apparently the Empire.
Yeah.
The Republic is actually entirely wiped out. The Resistance was the Republic's army, and the First Order was still pushing forward.
Okay. Would you like me to explain this to you a bit?
Please explain it to me.
Okay. So, upon this crawl and this movie, based on what happened in The Force Awakens and the crawl there. Okay. The Republic is like the main government in the galaxy. Uh-huh. But the First Order, it's basically like they're fighting over rule of the galaxy. It's kind of how it goes. But they don't set that up very well. It kind of seems like they're a grassroots kind of...
See, I thought that they were a division of possibly what remained of the Empire, and that the Resistance was like the strike team basically fighting against this opposite order. And now it seems like they are both all-encompassing, but they both still... And this is the thing. We were talking about not being set up right, and it feels like that all the way through the movie. They both still feel so small.
Yeah.
I never believed that the First Order is the Empire.
Yes, and the problem with that is kind of the problem with the setting of the movie. So,
and that's what I meant by world building not working with me. Because I don't know where... You got the Empire right off the bat, and you got the Rebellion right off the bat.
These movies do not have the kind of time gap that the original trilogy does.
No.
So
I'm thinking we're going to get the time gap between this one and the next one.
Oh, yeah. So take part of the crawl from this one, and then basically shove it into Force Awakens.
Okay.
And the whole thing makes a lot more sense.
Okay.
They're going around seizing military control over systems. They were obviously already doing that before their big base got blown up.
Yeah.
So it's just like they're doing that, but also they don't have the whole Republic fleet. And the way that it was written in the crawl of The Force Awakens is, I think they kind of had a shift, like they were clearly
one was on the way out and one was on the way in.
They were clearly enemies, but I think they were trying not to ruffle too many feathers. I think they were kind of both existing in the galaxy.
Okay.
Maybe they had a shaky ceasefire, but the resistance was there as the special
ops
a
border guard
to try to take care of them, but they didn't want an all-out war. I think they were trying to keep parts of the galaxy together, but then it's they get blown up, and now it's they're just fucking nobodies, and the First Order is way in first place. And it's it doesn't make a lot of sense. But, like I said, take that little bit where it's they're going across the galaxy, seizing shit military style.
Uh-huh.
They were probably have been doing that for a while.
Okay.
Also, kind of implied, and I know you haven't read it, and I hate being you on this, somewhat implied in the Poe Dameron comic series as well.
Yes, no, I did read a lot of the Poe Dameron. Okay.
That, they know about the First Order.
Yeah.
And it's kind of they're trying to kind of stay out of it until they need to, and that's why they have a resistance.
Okay.
It's not good. I just thought I would tell you kind of...
No, thank you, because I was lost, and I thank you for shedding some light on it for me.
But they retroactively were just oh no, they're the Empire now, and they're the Rebels.
Yeah.
It was
they go from calling them resistance very quickly into calling them the rebellion.
They eased it in. They're no, rebels? Yeah, rebels.
Yeah, then we get this elongated pilot episode of Battlestar Galactica. If anybody listening watched the remake of Battlestar Galactica, the entire first episode is Galactica making random jumps trying to get away from the Cylon fleet while they are tracking them. And this was after the miniseries that they did that set up the show. The pilot of the full-length series was this great episode. Nobody's sleeping. They're just consistently jumping, and the Cylon fleet knows where they are every time, tracking them. And that was kind of what I saw going on here, and I liked it.
Yeah.
Because that was one of my favorite episodes of the whole series.
So did I. But before you jump too far forward, as they're evacuating,
I didn't go into the
more firepower is showing up from the First Order, kind of explaining. They're the Empire now.
Yeah. They got this massive thing called the Dreadnought. And it is fucking banana.
It is a orbital bombardment.
It is a super Star Destroyer on PCP.
Yeah, it's
you don't fuck with this.
It's really awesome, and Poe Dameron and his squad. Are I guess just delaying.
I did not know that he was a commander.
Yeah,
but I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, and they were there to delay them.
Yeah, they got this great bit of humor, but the one thing that I didn't like is, and it was present throughout the movie, they kind of shit all over Hux. Mm-hmm. And I like Hux. I thought he was a believer and he was intimidating and really great in Force Awakens. I really got behind him. I saw him as a more impassioned Tarkin.
Yeah.
Maybe Tarkin in his younger days. And in this one, he's kind of the joke.
Yeah.
Everybody rips on him, including his own people.
Yeah.
But then, they flip it on its head later on, but then they flip it back again, and I'm just like, what is the tone that I'm supposed to get from Hux?
I will say the First Order, yeah, exactly. He was played for humor and for the benefit of Poe Dameron.
Yeah.
So,
and that worked for me. Worked for me. It was just that later on, as it kept happening and there was this flip-flop going on, I was just like, what the fuck are they doing with Hux? Because his own people make fun of him.
I think it was just kind of a little bit of like setting you up for kind of what the First Order is going to be. Because I will say I'm very interested in the next one.
Extremely
because
interested.
The First Order is a fucking mess.
Yeah.
I don't want to get into. We'll get into that as we go along.
Yeah, we're gonna progress.
But Poe, dude, some amazing fucking. They listened.
Very cool space.
They listened about some of the gripes with Force Awakens, and they're like, "Oh, we need to have wars in the stars."
Yeah,
and amazing space.
We need to have more space fights.
They
in
bring
our
in
space
fucking
fights.
bombers. He makes a rash decision.
Dude, I love the supersized B wings that are going on. That was really cool.
It was a really cool sequence, and it has weight, it has consequences. It sets up his relationship with the Admiral.
I really got wrapped up in Rose's sister's little miniature story that happened there.
Rose's sister
is the dopest character.
Is way better than her, and was in the movie for
5 minutes.
5 minutes, maybe.
Yeah, she was really cool.
A badass.
Dude, she got me, dude. I was just like, get it. Oh God, get the detonate. No, she missed it.
For the gripes in the direction that I have with the second act of the movie, the tension in this movie is much better.
Especially that bombing run.
Yeah.
That was very good.
Some of the more tense moments are very good.
The tense moments are fantastic. Everything, like I was saying, everything between Kylo and Rey is amazing.
Oh yeah,
it's really good. But no, dude, they blow up the dreadnought, and then they take off, and Poe gets, while they're doing the Battlestar Galactica thing, they're getting this whole, Poe's getting his ass reamed by Leia, and we get introduced to the biggest red herring in the movie, Laura Dern. I'm a little disappointed with how that played out, because we talked about it in the last episode, which hopefully you people have listened to at this point. She does not do what we thought she would do.
No.
At all.
And I honestly am like, what the fuck are they going to do?
What the fuck are we supposed to do? Exactly.
By the way, I don't know how you felt about... So while they're... Basically, when they find out they're being tracked through light speed and they're basically just jumping around, Kylo pussies out in the scene that we all saw. That actually does play out the way you thought it was.
Yeah.
And
two randos,
Admiral Akbar, and for some reason not C-3PO, because that would be ridiculous. And Leia gets sucked into space, and she uses the Force to bring her. How do you feel about that? First of all, I didn't like the effect.
Oh, the effect was terrible. It was awful. It was.
I guess I'll put this out there I probably should have put it in the non-spoilers, but fuck it, whatever. The overall look of this movie is very inconsistent.
Yes.
And obviously not prequel level bad.
No.
But is
I think the only thing that was prequel level bad was the writing on the back of those animals.
Yeah, that was
That was awful, but that's part of that bad second act.
But it definitely does not have the dedication to practical filmmaking that Force Awakens did.
This is CGI heavy.
But it's a modern movie with a modern director. I don't fault it. But I didn't like that effect. And just how do you feel about her using the Force? Reaching out to Luke, we've seen it before. Things that make sense, but her just being like, "Oh, I'm frozen in space."
Well, you. I'm gonna do a you thing and hate to be me about this.
Okay.
But Leia was never very strong in the Force.
I know.
Luke tried to train her for years, and it didn't work.
I'm asking you this question because I'm going off of what you've told me a million times.
Okay, yeah. It was a bit bizarre. I really thought it was very touching. I got wrapped up in that being her final scene.
So did I.
I was like, this is why. Oh man, wait, what is she doing? What is she? She's magicking herself back into the ship. And they're opening the door with no vacuum.
There was no airlock. Yeah, I didn't.
There was no. I was like, did a force field drop or something?
The shield of the ship. But
how? But then how did they all get sucked out?
Yeah.
That's where you get this continuity issue.
But it doesn't.
No, I didn't care for it.
Okay,
it was too convenient.
Yeah,
and that's my thing with a lot of this movie. A lot is really convenient.
There's
some tracker on the ship. How were they able to track them?
No, it was new tech.
New tech aboard the. I got you.
Yeah, and they were like,
that's right.
If we destroy it, they'll just turn the tracker on another ship. They need to not know it's off, jump, and then it'll be too late to turn it back on.
Exactly.
They said they had one power cycle, which was like 6 minutes to do it. They did explain it.
Yeah. No. I remember that part.
But it was iffy. That's the thing about this movie. I had to listen very closely to what people were saying, and sometimes I didn't know what they were doing.
Yeah. I never knew what the fuck Benicio del Toro was talking about.
I didn't know what Benicio del Toro was doing, but I liked it.
They tried to give him like this pigeon. I get pigeon slang.
Yeah.
I think is what it's called.
Mm-hmm.
I never knew what the fuck he was talking about. He's like, oh, and then bingo, bango, blip, blop, bloopy. And I was like, what the fuck does that mean? I was interested in his character because I thought we were getting like an actual dirtbag Han Solo type of thing. And I was thinking maybe he'd stick around, but he fucking doesn't.
Another thing that looked really bad. Okay, sorry, but another thing that looked really bad other than the animals is Rose. I knew when I saw it in the goddamn trailer that I was going to hate the whole sequence, and I did because it looked bad. But the whole thing with Phasma and with BB-8 in the ATST,
none of that looked good. It was
all bad.
It was very cartoony.
It was very prequely, but obviously not that bad.
No, they've come far with their tech since then.
I don't want to jump too far ahead again, but for the love of God, well, this actually kind of plays into when they're getting away. Uh-huh. The first jump when they realize they can be tracked through light speed now, which I like because the solution has always been like, well, jump out of here and we're all good.
Exactly.
So it did.
No, I loved that because hyperspace is a real physical plane that they go into. Yeah. It's actual like wormhole tunnels and stuff like that they access, and you could, if someone could wrap their brain around that kind of fucking astrophysics and stuff like that. That was great. I thought that was fantastic.
So when they first find that shit out, somebody like evacuates or whatever, and he he goes down with the ship and whatever. That happens again. And I'm like, can somebody get pilot droids on these fucking ships so that people don't have to keep steering the ships themselves?
Where is the advanced AIs? Where are the droids? There is a serious lack of droids, even in Force Awakens.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Aside from BB-8. R2 does not get his due. 3PO gets tons of camera time. We barely got any R2, and that made me sad because
it was all BB-8.
And like, I gotta be honest, dude, I'm looking forward to the third one because it looks like R2 and 3PO are back together, and I want to see that comedy team back together. That was my bread and butter as a kid.
R2 is on the Falcon.
Yeah,
he talks to Luke. Great bit of fan service that just plays into the story. Great.
That was great fan service.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying, because it plays into the story.
Yeah, no.
Of where Luke's at the time.
Dude, that part got me, dude.
Yeah, no,
it really
did.
got me, dude. It was just, he's just like, I'm not going back. And then he powers up that message he still has.
Yeah.
Of Leia, dude. And I thought that was great.
The Falcon, obviously, you've seen the trailers, is there later on. And I don't think we ever see R2 again. No, you see R2 briefly. 3PO says, "Oh, well, you're some kind of friend," or something like that. Oh, does that?
Assuming that R2 gave him some kind of insult because he's R2. And I love that Luke tells him, he's like, language, sacred planet, And I love that they've carried that joke through all of the my favorite Star Wars. R2's a foul-mouthed little shithead, dude. And I love it, dude. And I needed more R2 in this, and he didn't get enough. I wanted to see him and Luke walking around that island together.
There were things
I needed that.
They were in both movies pretty brave with what they decided to do with Luke. First movie, don't have him in it. That's a pretty bold move.
Yeah. Everything they did with Luke.
This movie. Oh, never mind. This movie, they could. Yeah, I thought you were gonna get smashed. This movie, they could have done. They could have fan serviced the fuck out of him.
Oh yeah.
Nope. They
made him a character.
Yeah, they made him a character instead. Who would have thought?
He was brilliantly written. I really enjoyed Luke. But yeah, then Poe and Finn tries to leave because he wants to go save Rey. Finn wakes up and it is handled so poorly. It was terrible.
No, that's why
the man had his spine
severed.
The man had his spine severed.
Well, I like that they don't have back to tanks.
Back to bags.
I kind of like that he was just in like a back to suits.
No, that was cool. But like we got that cool scene of them healing Luke and talking to Luke and everything after the Wampa and Empire Strikes Back. We get to see him healing and we get to see the process and we see all the scars and stuff like that. And I thought that was great. And then when he loses his hand in the end at Empire, we see them giving him his new hand. And in this, we see Kylo in his fucking mesh holding his face together. We don't see what happened to Finn's spine.
Yeah.
And, I mean, the guy got his spine, like, he got cut. Like, and that scene where Kylo doesn't have his shirt on, and you see how far she fucked him up. That scar was a lot more impressive than it looked in the trailers.
Oh, yeah.
It's just gnarly from chest to fucking eyeball. She fucked him up.
There was a lot of mixed oohs and or ahs in the theater with Kylo without a shirt on.
Oh, that was super funny. The guy
was either like,
the lady that was the girlfriend of the dude next to me did not dig. She just went, "Oh no." but then the girlfriend of the dude sitting in front of me and Brandon goes, "Oh."
And then I think Meg said, "Ah, sick." I'm fairly certain she did.
That sounds like Meg.
So
yeah.
So that's why that was a very funny thing because, like, let's be real, Adam Driver's a weird looking dude.
He's a weird looking dude, but he's such a good actor.
Dude,
these movies he continually surprises me in these movies.
Yeah. I'm fucking A. Basically, until the very end of the movie, he kind of became what people were accusing him of on the first one.
I did not like his bit with Luke at all.
No, I like Luke, obviously, but I didn't like. I mean, I get that his head is all over the fucking place,
but he's so snivelly.
Yeah.
In the scene, he needed to be more what he was in Force Awakens, with just cold anger, rage, determination.
True, it was.
And in this one, he's just like, "You're a meanie," you know. I was like, "Oh God, you suck."
Like I get, and I guess I'm gonna even introduce more spoilers. You shouldn't be listening. Why do I keep going over this? But like, I understand that he's a little bit like the whole ordeal has got him a little fucked up. But yeah, he was super snivelly. He was what people accused him of being in the first one.
Yeah, and he was so great up until that point.
Ooh, dude, when his scene with him and Snoke, at first, I was like, holy, I'm getting all fucking worked up.
Oh yeah,
I'm like, Jesus Christ, this guy sucks.
And just the conflict within him is real through the whole movie,
dude. You know,
like again, everything with him and Rey, where they're having these. They have this mental connection through the Force, and they're seeing each other, and the way it's shot, that's one of the things where I gotta say, it's so great. Because you never see a shared world between the two of them until
a third party witnesses it.
Until the beginning of the third act.
Yeah.
When Luke comes in and sees the two of them together, you see Kylo in Kylo's world, in Kylo's area, Rey in her area, and they're talking to each other, but they don't have a shared space.
No.
But it feels like they're sitting in front of each other.
Yeah.
It's so well done. I loved that. And you get the conflict between them, and he's just, there's an earnestness to him, like, did he tell you? what happened?
Yeah.
Did he? And she's like, yeah, he did. And she's angry, and then she's sympathetic, and it's. And Kylo
the ups and downs.
And Kylo is just so pissed, and he's like, "Tell me where Skywalker is," at the beginning, and then all of a sudden he starts having real conversations with her.
Yeah,
and it's like I said, the conflict is so well done.
The two of them, when they touched hands, like, it gave me chills, man.
Oh, dude.
And
I was just like, I was so scared for them to touch. I was like, she's gonna go.
I didn't know what
she's
was
gonna
happen.
fall, dude.
Yeah.
I was just like, she's.
I thought he was gonna pull her like to him. I didn't know what was.
I didn't know what the fuck was gonna happen, dude. That part gave, like you said, gave me chills, dude. I was just like,
don't touch his hand. That went,
don't touch his hand.
And
don't
the
touch his hand.
roller coaster ride of what each character was thinking was insane. Oh. And not only that, I want to bring up Snoke here for a second.
Can we please talk about Snoke?
I was going to hate Snoke.
He
is the biggest... He's awesome, but he's the biggest dickhead in the world.
He is detestable.
He is a worse Emperor.
I was going to say, they did a great job of making a new Palpatine that you can hate possibly more.
And I love that it's like, doesn't matter who he is.
Nope.
The fact is that he's such a piece of shit. And the fact that,
spoiler
fucking alert, he gone.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, there's no Jedi that's going to happen. Fucking Kylo is on his own.
Oh, yeah. Kylo is in charge now. He cut that motherfucker in half.
Yeah. And it was amazing.
He's just telling Kylo. He's not predicting the future. He's telling Kylo what to do.
Yeah.
Because that's his puppet. Kylo's his puppet.
Yep,
and Kylo's sick and tired of being his bitch.
And
that
like I said,
was so amazing.
But with the roller coaster ride, I'd kind of seen the whole... I think that it's going to look like he's going to be good.
Yeah.
And then he's going to be like, oh, we got this together.
Yeah.
But I thought it was going to be more of her realizing not to be evil. I don't know. But
yeah, no.
But
the twist, the way they did that
But when it was
great.
like, cut him in half, and it was like, you want to do this shit?
Mm-hmm.
And they fight the Praetorian Guards, like, oh my god.
Yeah.
It was... I don't know.
Now,
I don't even know what to say about that.
Are those the Knights of Ren?
That's what I wanted to ask. Because they specifically mention that he takes off with some of Luke's students.
So are those the handful of Luke's students, and those are the Knights of Ren?
I believe that they are.
That's what I thought. Okay. Yeah. Okay. We're both interpreting
because I really liked... It wasn't prequely where they're just fucking going crazy and cutting guys down. They had a hard fight on their hands after that happened.
Those guys were whooping their ass.
Yeah.
That was a close fight. Kylo was kicking ass.
Yeah.
Rey not so much, because Rey doesn't know what the fuck she's doing. I was really hoping to get some kind of training with her. Mm-hmm. She's not good.
That's why I said if you thought she was if you thought people calling her Mary Sue before was bad, she literally is going to start the Jedi Order without ever being trained.
It's true. That's true.
And I don't want to be that guy who retroactively would be like, I think they might have a point, but I'm just kind of like, it is a little frustrating.
Yeah.
She got 2 lessons, which were even less than what Luke got.
And they weren't very good lessons. They were just Luke being a piece of shit.
And it was Luke kind of being a dick to her. You're right.
He's just so
But the
negative.
first one was just like, oh, reach out. And then she's just like, oh, I got this. And I was kind of
I like that comedic bit. That was funny. There where he tickles it. Is it the Force? Yeah, it's the Force. Yeah, he's tickling her with a leaf and he hits her in the face with it. No, and I loved that part where he's just terrified immediately of her. He's like, you didn't even try to stop from going to the dark.
Yeah.
And it's like, neither did you, dude.
Yeah.
And I thought that was great. I think that was part of what made that Yoda scene so great, dude.
Yeah.
Didn't fucking stop. You cut the head off of Darth Vader in that tree. And that's why Yoda told you that's why you failed. He failed that test.
Yeah,
Luke failed most of his life.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. And that's why, and that's what bums me out of what initially, I guess the spoilers are there because I've said it a million times that she's the last Jedi and she's going to do it all on her own.
Yeah.
Luke fucking pulls an Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
He's one with the Force now. He'll definitely be a
He
Force
does
ghost.
this. Okay, fuck going through it piece by piece, dude. It's
No,
gonna take
no,
forever.
we're gonna be all over the place.
Yeah.
But I just wanted,
Luke,
before you skip forward, I wanted to keep talking
get
about
this
what you brought.
amazing scene of Luke showing up at the 11th hour.
Mm-hmm.
And I said out loud, and Brandon told me to shush. So I went, how the fuck did this motherfucker get here? Because he just walks into this base
and it's
that
funny.
apparently has one way in and one way out that we know of at this point in time.
And it's fun, and he does things that I went, that's a little much. And then it all pays off. But
well, yeah, because Kylo orders every weapon available to fire on that guy.
Yeah.
So they blow the shit out of him, and Hux has. This is one of the parts where I love
Where he was Hux, yeah.
Where he was Hux. And he's like, enough! And he turns and looks at Kylo and goes, are you sure you got him?
You think you got him?
You think you got him? And like, I was like, fuck yeah, that's my boy, dude.
And then he just walks out unscathed.
And then he walks out unscathed, and I was like, all right, that's
a little much.
You're pushing what I can believe right now. Like, I get it. I thought we were going into prequel territory, where he's just OP as shit. And he got that way in the books as well. But
yeah.
But no, dude, you get the snivelly bit between Luke and Kylo, and Kylo's really annoying in this part. I didn't enjoy him at all. And Luke's doing these crazy Matrix dives, and the fight scene's filmed really bad.
I didn't enjoy it.
I didn't,
especially
like
when they had two. One of them was a lightsaber fight, and one of them was sticks. But they had two well-filmed fight scenes before that, so this one was a little.
The one between Rey and Luke is really good.
Oh my god,
that was really good, really intense too.
It was.
Yeah. But the one between Luke and Kylo, which I felt like you were waiting the whole movie for.
Not to mention, it's filmed on a blue screen.
Yeah, it's green screen, and Luke is kind of CGI.
Yeah.
Well,
because, and
he's bending and moving in ways.
I didn't notice until, and it might have been intentional, but I doubt it. But I did not notice until you realize what's happening that I'm like, yeah, he looks different. Like his
hair was short.
I wondered why he had a blue lightsaber.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out why he had his old lightsaber and
that had already been split.
Oh,
in half.
dude, and I gotta be honest, dude. You know what was the best fan service for me? Hearing the snap hiss of fucking Luke's saber.
Oh,
it always had that noise, dude. I have loved that sound effect since I was a kid.
Nice.
And hearing that old school green saber pop out, dude, I was just like, that's what's up, dude.
Yeah.
That it's so awesome sounding, dude.
Speaking to that scene, I don't care.
Wherever
but speaking to that scene, I knew that Kylo was maybe not completely.
He was bending the truth, and Luke was bending the truth.
Because Luke just had this wild look in his eyes.
Dude, he looked insane.
And I was like, that's him describing it to her. So I'm like, that's not what he looked like. And then when he saw the real thing, it was more of like a...
Yeah, dude, it was him, like, dude, and such a heartfelt monologue from Mark Hamill.
Yeah.
The best line delivery I think he's ever done. He has become a much better actor.
I was going to say, I think Disney put him forward for Best Actor, and they put him towards the Academy.
That's interesting.
Oscar.
I
thought it was good, but...
I don't think you'll get it, but this is the best acting
I feel like
he's
if
ever
Sly
done.
Stallone can get a fucking nomination for Creed,
yeah.
I feel like Mark Hamill is good, if not better, than Sly Stallone in Creed.
I get you. Yeah, no, I agree with that. I forgot all about that. I agree completely.
For Best Supporting. You know
dude,
what I mean?
because he finally tells Rey what happened between him and Kylo.
Yeah.
And
Which
it is
teased
just
teased
he
that.
says this he gives this great line about all I saw in him was darkness. And then I went to him because he was going to talk to him.
Yeah.
And then
he was like watching his dreams.
Kylo's asleep, and he goes into his mind, I guess. And you hear it, and it's just him relishing terror and murder. And he's like, and all I saw was darkness, and Snoke had already ruined him.
Yeah, instead of trying to work on it or whatever.
Yeah, and then he pops his lightsaber, And
For 1 second.
Yeah, he says, and I became filled with this, I can fix this by killing him moment. And then the best line he delivered in the whole movie is, all I felt was shame. Mm-hmm. And you get that cut to his face where he's just, it looks like he's going to cry.
It's not the wild eyes you saw in Kylo's story.
No.
And then you get
and reveal. It's not the calm thing that you got in his initial story of what happened between him and Kylo.
Yeah, exactly.
Because Luke's lying too.
Yeah.
Until this point. And then, but it's just, I don't know, Mark really did a great job.
He nailed it. And then it's like, and then I saw him, and all I saw was like,
all I saw was an angry boy,
like a boy whose master, like
a boy whose master had failed.
Yeah, it's just destroyed him or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, it's just a tragic...
And he just the line he says before Kylo grabs his saber, and he goes, Ben, no, and he just, oh, dude.
Yeah.
That the falling out between Kylo and Luke is fantastic.
Where it's like, yeah, in his eyes, he was a crazed maniac.
Yeah, and Luke, they're both crazed maniacs in each other's eyes. Luke betrayed him, tried to murder him.
The real story is like Luke for 1 second, and then was ashamed, and then it was like it was too late, and he just hasn't been able to deal with it since. Yeah. And I love the fact that like, because he was like, "Where's Han?"
Oh my god, I was just gonna bring that up, dude. And I actually kind of went.
Yeah, no. And what's funny when the door flew in, I was just like, Jesus Christ!
I thought she force shoved it,
like to show her strength.
It's Chewie just having
there
enough.
And he's pissed.
He's had enough, dude. Luke, quit fucking around.
And he's like, asked where Han is, and I was like, bro, isn't knowing the well-being of your guys kind of your thing?
But then he's find out
shut off.
He's cut off from the Force. No, and like that's another one he did where there was a lot of weight to the line. He says, he's like, what are you doing here? And then Chewie, blah, 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 and he's like, you came on the Falcons here?
Yeah. And
then Rey delivers her spiel, and then he goes, wait, where's Han?
Yeah.
And I went,
yeah, it was rough.
Dude, because I was just like, oh shit. And I wanted a reaction. I wanted a bit, and like you don't get it immediately.
No,
you don't get it for a while, and then
for a long while,
and then you get him sneaking onto the Falcon in the dark of night.
Yeah, and
he's just walking around, and he feels Han's chair, and he grabs the dice, and I was just like, oh fuck, dude, like that part got me.
Like I
dude.
said, that whole bit,
and then R2 shows up.
Was fan service, but not in the least. It had to happen.
It was
also beautifully done.
It was well done, well crafted fan service. It was a beautifully crafted scene, and you know, you keep saying fan service, they keep getting inside me. I'm just like, shut the fuck up, Ryan.
No, it definitely has a negative connotation. Yeah,
but it is fan servicey. But it is like you just said, necessary. Mm-hmm. It had to be done. And the thing that's funny is it doesn't convince him. He's still not going to leave that fucking island.
No.
Like, and I like
Luke
that.
Luke is a fucking mess. Man.
And but I like that he's still that stubborn kid.
Yeah.
From the originals.
Oh, and like Yoda kind of is like,
oh,
you're such a dick.
The Yoda scene is so beautiful.
Yeah.
It's just Yoda showed up and like I went, oh no. Like I was just like, oh, here we go. And like I had problems with the way he looks, but that's nitpicky.
Yeah.
So I'm not really going to go into it. And like I said to you when we were talking about it earlier, I think that the tech and the craftsmanship of puppetry has come much further than it was. So he doesn't look the same.
Yeah.
He's a darker green.
Yes.
And he's a little bit more jowly in the cheeks.
And you have to understand that the color correction on the 35mm, who knows, it might have been more accurate to the puppet if you've ever seen it in real life.
Exactly.
And blah, 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 blah.
But it doesn't look as shitty as CGI.
No, it doesn't look as shitty as new Episode 1 Puppet Yoda.
Yes.
And then, which is the worst version.
Yes.
And then it doesn't also look as bad as CGI version, which was better than the shitty puppet.
Better than shitty puppet, yeah. No, dude, but like, and it's just, he's just old master.
Yeah.
Laughing at his young pupil, making silly young pupil mistakes still. And he has these beautiful words of advice. He was Yoda again, dude. And it was so great to see Yoda be Yoda again. Oh, yeah. And not, remember Yoda?
Oh, God. He was... It almost took me a second. I feel like, because I don't... Like, I watch Empire a lot. But, like, Yoda is a very small part.
He was a very small part.
Of the original trilogy.
Yeah.
Where he's more prominent is in the prequels. And I haven't seen the prequels a lot, but he's in them a lot.
I feel like he loses some of his magic.
And all of a sudden I was just like, oh wait, this is real Yoda. You know what I mean? Like, it took me a second.
Yeah.
To talk about that scene just a little bit. First of all, I want to point out, as we're working through this movie, notice we want to talk about things that we really, really liked.
Yeah.
And we're not focusing on the negative of the movie. We're not talking about
Finn and Rose and
Bill at all. But that
was why I just was like, let's just stop talking about that.
But it's bad, but it's like, there's so much good, just as an overall, kind of how I feel about it.
So much good.
So, I never thought in my life, there was a rumor, obviously, when it comes to Force Ghosts, there's 3 of them.
Yes.
There is Yoda.
Technically 4.
There is there's Obi-Wan. And there is Anakin Skywalker.
Yes.
And there was a rumor, like, hey, they might bring in Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen.
I know. I was really hoping for Anakin and Obi to show up.
And I was kind of like, I really wish Hayden Christensen was in this movie. Which sounds like the dumbest thing.
It's embarrassing to say out loud.
Yeah, it's embarrassing. Because I feel like he would have some insight.
He'd have great words for Luke. Just like, don't do what I did.
You know, not advice of what he should do, just to give him an idea of what Kylo could be going through.
That's interesting.
You know what I mean?
That's interesting. Yeah. Give advice on the fall.
I wanted that scene in the worst way. It's been in my brain. Like, I honestly was convinced it was going to happen.
I'm with you on that. I really thought that we'd get all 3.
I thought that Luke was going to, like, get it, which he did from Yoda. And Yoda did great.
I thought we were going to get a more haunted Luke by the 3 ghosts.
Yeah,
maybe Obi shows up again.
But I
and
wonder,
in different segments we would get them.
I wonder if he was haunted, and that is almost why he cut himself off from the Force. Because I feel like he was being berated, and he's like, "Fuck off," because he's like, it's nice to see you again, you stupid idiot.
Yeah.
Like, now that you're back.
Yeah.
Oh, you're still here with a stupid tree.
Yeah. No, but it would have been interesting to get almost a Scrooge kind of thing going on.
Like, remember
where you get visited, where he gets visited by the 3 of them at different periods within the movie to establish like the different stages he's going through while dealing with
what he should do. Yeah, but at the same time, remember fucking Yoda being like, I'm not going to train this kid.
Yeah.
Like, so was I, if you remember. Yeah. Which we learn later just means nothing, but if you count the prequels. But
it's just preschool.
I just imagine like Obi-Wan showing up Obi-Wan and Yoda would play this part, but like, we trained you, like, you're kind of a piece of shit.
Yeah, I would see.
And then him being like, but look what happened with fucking Kylo, and then Hayden Christensen
I was just gonna say, like,
well, what the fuck, bro?
Like, maybe you get Obi first when his initial refusal happens, and then you get Yoda. And then the last ghost you see is Anakin. That would have been a really cool scene. But just the Yoda scene was amazing.
Oh yeah, no. That's a hard decision to make.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And he has such great words to him where failure is the best lesson to teach.
Yeah. Everything he said was gold.
Yeah.
And I'm like...
And then
I'm like, okay, Luke's making it.
Yeah.
Luke is going to train her. I guess as a Force ghost.
Yeah, I guess. That would be interesting, though. I mean, because that's technically what Obi did for the whole trilogy. Yeah, man.
Because he's like, we can't lose her. You have to help her. And then he just helps the rebellion.
Yeah. He's the spark
and I feel like,
that lights the fire.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. The spark lights the fire.
But that's one of the mantras that they repeat ad nauseum And by the time
because it's the
Poe said it by the end, I wanted to punch everyone in the face that had ever said it.
Yeah.
I was so annoyed by that line.
I agree.
Because, like, Leia said, oh, it's the spark that is... And I was like, shut the fuck up about sparks!
Tired of sparks.
We were talking about Luke.
But like, in going back to the Mary Sue thing, though, I'm just like...
Yeah.
So, because I want to keep on, like... But he's gone, though.
Yeah.
And what he did, she is, like, unaware of. And
Yeah.
she took the texts anyway.
Yeah.
And
She took the books.
And she also was just a good egg from the get-go because
Yeah.
Kylo was like, we have a thing going on here.
Yeah.
You want to keep this rolling? And she's like, no.
Yeah.
I kind of was hoping you weren't going to be a dick anymore. And it's just like, well...
I kind of like
But I see
being
an
a
empty
dick.
throne with a guy in half, and I'm kind of like... Also, the subtext, you know who that was?
Mm.
Darth Maul.
Oh, yeah.
Because he got cut in half again.
I feel like you just made that up.
I just feel like it's gonna be in the
You've
YouTube.
been on a big...
It's gonna be in the YouTube.
I know.
I don't know what it is about Darth Maul. Out of nowhere, I decided to care about Darth Maul. Because people just... Because Count Dooku sucks, let's be real.
Yeah, Maul was way
So
cool,
he's the
dude.
only other person that we ever got who was a Sith character who wasn't the Emperor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or Darth Vader.
Yeah.
So people... So, like...
I like
there's a
the
lot
way...
of Darth Maul fans out there.
That's one thing that I want to reference, too. I love the way that they subtly reference the prequels without being annoying about it.
Listening... Yeah, it's weird.
Listening to Luke
talk about Darth Sidious?
Yeah.
You're like...
It had weight to it.
It didn't annoy me at all.
And it's Hux's jab at Kylo in Force Awakens about clone troopers as opposed to Kylo's jab at Hux about clone troopers.
Which I thought Phasma was going to call Finn FN2187, but she
did.
Did she?
Yeah. She walks in and she goes, FN218, baby.
Okay.
That was her first fucking line, and I was just like, oh, Phasma's here.
Ooh, let's talk about Phasma.
Can we talk about that great scene with Phasma?
Talk about Phasma.
Oh,
okay.
she does so much in the movie.
So a recap. She tells in Force Awakens, she tells stormtroopers to kill innocent civilians. Then she gives Finn some shit.
About not wearing his helmet.
And then she gets thrown in a trash compactor. We were then told that she was not going to be that terrible character.
No.
And she was going to have a bigger part.
Bigger role. She was going to do a lot.
And she shows up.
At the end of the movie.
She gives Finn some shit. And then she dies.
Then she gets the shit beat out of her and she dies.
Wow, what a great character. And I guess I should point out, too, when she first showed up, which is like the third act of the movie...
Dude, she shows up at the end of the movie.
People in the... 5. To be fair, like 5.
I was going to say, dude, that was not a lot.
5 people in the theater decided to clap. And I was like, for fucking Phasma? Are we for real here?
Well, like, if she had been there from
she was the worst character again, and then she died.
She wasn't the worst character, but she was definitely not impressive.
You think Rose Tico's worse?
I fucking hate Rose Tico. That scene where we just talked about it, where we thought Finn was gonna die, and we were like, this is a good end. And I was like, and what a tragic fucking great bit of plot. They never saw each other again. This is sad as shit. I really thought Finn was gonna go out, and no, Rose come in to save the day.
Yeah, that's true and then it just was the final hammer in her whole theme of the movie. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and I was just like,
no,
I was just like,
to
sweet.
Save those we love.
I was like, oh, cool.
But you also just killed everybody in there.
Yeah, I was like, oh, cool. Well, they talked about that cannon like it was gonna rip that whole base apart, and all it did was make a tiny hole.
It made enough for Kylo and Salt Troopers to go through.
I was gonna say, dude, all they do is just fucking dig put another little trench in. They can bottleneck them in there and just wipe them out as they came through.
Yeah,
that's like the whole plot line of 300.
Yeah, this was also like the movie consisted of obviously the main Force characters, which is fine, and pilots and officers.
Yes,
there was like stormtroopers and in I don't even know what is the word I'm looking for? This is my word looking dance. Standing.
Soldiers?
And what do soldiers do? They stand in fucking
attention.
No, but yeah.
Rows?
You really oh my god, this is gonna drive me crazy.
I'm usually the word guy. I have no idea what you're trying to do.
When you're attacking something, say you're playing like
formation.
Thank God.
You were like standing. I was like, attention, rows.
That was embarrassing. Anyway, the point is that like attention to different things in the different movies.
Yeah.
But space is in this one, which is nice.
Shift.
But but the setting of the movie is, fuck you, we're just going to run from you in space.
Yeah.
And we're going to be in space a lot.
Yeah.
So the only world building is like, hey, you guys, go off to this other planet.
There's a casino planet.
Let's just get into it, because I got to get it off my chest.
Yeah, we got to talk about them. No, dude, like I said, she shows up at the end. She saves Finn. I really thought she was going to bite it. Nope, she's unconscious.
They don't know what to do with Finn. So Finn wakes up.
They have no idea what to do with Finn.
Finn wakes up, and he's like, where's Rey? And they're like, fucking, I don't know.
She like fucking left, dude.
And they give him like a rundown, and he's like, oh, well, what the fuck am I supposed to do? And they're like, I don't know. And he's like, I'm going to go find her. He does that. He does that for 2-3 minutes.
We get introduced to Rose Tico.
Yeah.
Mechanic of the Resistance.
Yeah, she's a mechanic, but she's a true believer, just like her sister.
Yeah.
Who was much cooler than her.
And had like no dialogue.
Had no dialogue.
And only in the movie for 5 minutes.
So she's like, oh, you're the Finn. And I'm just kind of like, word gets around fast.
Yeah.
Although, I will admit, we don't know how much time passed between Starkiller Base getting blown up and her going to Luke.
Yeah.
Because, like, C-3PO gets his old arm back.
Yeah.
She's in a new outfit. I don't know. It doesn't matter. It's, take it as you will. But
yeah.
She stuns him because he's clearly trying to leave, and like they have a problem with that because they're fucking losing. And then
she tases the fuck out of him.
They
flies across the room.
They both brainstorm this stupid plan. They call Maz Kanata, which is stupid.
That was a terrible bit.
They're like, "Hey, what's up with Maz Kanata?" It was like, doesn't matter.
I was like, "Is this communicator on her arm? Is she talking into a laptop? Where is this going on in real space?"
I also didn't like the title or like they just kept saying Master Code Breaker over and over again.
That was
it was
really
an odd
annoying.
line of dialogue.
It was an awkward title.
Yeah. So they're like, hey, go find this guy because we have this plan to stop them from tracking.
Yeah.
It is a MacGuffin.
It's a very
because it does not do anything.
No.
Because it does not
It is literally the actual interpretation of a MacGuffin.
They fail. It's inconsequential to the overall plot.
Yes.
It just gives characters the thrust to do something.
They go to Casino Royale.
They go to a casino planet, and it's like, oh, this is kind of cool.
They find James Bond.
Yeah. Oh, this is kind of cool. And then it's like, Finn's like, hey, this shit's kind of dope. And she's like, yeah, you'd think that.
Yeah, but there's like slaves.
But like, there's slave labor here. And also, how do you think these guys got so rich? They make weapons for the First Order. And then you find out that they just make weapons in general.
Yeah, they just make weapons for everybody.
Yeah.
And everybody's fucked up. That's what we learned from Benicio del Toro.
Yeah, who's just out for himself.
Yeah, literally.
And
I did like that
and
plot
also,
twist that he was
but also there's these
dirtbag.
beasts that are apparently magnificent, but they're just big dumb. They look like a Trico from The Last Guardian.
I was just gonna say that. I was like, when it fucking leaned its head over and you saw its face, I was like,
that's Trico.
Fucking Trico without the bird legs.
Yeah, he doesn't have wings or whatever, but yeah, Trico from The Last Guardian is there. There's a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
There's space police.
There's cops for the planet.
Okay,
I zoned out, dude.
It was breaking up the pace of the movie. When it got really bad, though, other than like, oh, they clearly don't know what to do with Finn, so go do this dumb shit.
Yeah.
When it got really bad, is like she started her little speech, and Finn was kind of a little bit unconvinced. But then, so then they meet Benicio del Toro, and it was like, okay, this is plot convenience, but I'm a little interested. Oh, he likes BB-8. Who doesn't?
Yeah.
Okay, whatever. God, this shit is dragging. Then it was like, hey, kids, you damn slaves. We're with the resistance, and we hate the First Order.
She's got her fucking rebellion Dakota
ring. Yeah. And then like they go running through this ridiculous CG. It was a lot like in Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah.
With the Beast and fucking General Grievance and whatever. It was a lot like that. It was a little ridiculous. And then it was like ah shit, we're fucked. And he's like, yeah, it's all worth it though. Smashing up that town with those fucks. And I was like, why do you care?
Yeah. Yeah.
What is this?
Yeah.
What is happening?
You have no investment in this. You were a coward.
Terrible.
It was really bad.
Like, I'm glossing over it just because, like...
It didn't matter.
Because the good is so good that I don't want to focus on this, but that is the problem in itself. It doesn't matter, and it's bad.
Yeah.
The fact that we don't even want to talk about it is kind of worse.
We keep talking about Luke and Kylo and Rey because they were the best part of the movie.
This is the... There are three...
Technically three.
I was going to say there are three plot lines going throughout the movie that
because Poe has to learn how to be a leader.
Yeah, and intersect and blah, 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 blah. But, like, in the second act, it's mostly two. Yeah. You kind of know where the rebellion is at. It's kind of like...
they kind of...
course. Like,
they drop...
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, well, fucking... Poe's just like, stop moving in a straight line. And she's like, we're going to keep moving in a straight line. Lock him up. Yeah. Because he doesn't want to move in a straight line.
It wasn't bad. It was just kind of like reminding you what's happening.
It was boring.
Yeah, boring, I guess. But so there's only two things that are happening. One is great, and one of them is so bad. And that's like the whole second act. So it's like, it can't be understated how out of place and bad it was.
Yeah, the second act is really hard to get through, and it is long.
It's a long movie.
It's a very long movie in general, and it's because I feel like the second act is so long. It just keeps going, and you spend forever on that goddamn casino planet.
And it's like, oh, it's funny. It's a casino planet. Oh, but these rich snobs... Oh, but it's because they make money off of war. Oh, war is actually what's bad.
But you don't get a Lando.
I didn't get it.
You don't get like a Lando type of character. And I feel like a Lando type of guy in that scenario, and like, for them to be connected with would have been fantastic.
And it was, like you said, it was a MacGuffin in every sense of the word because, like, they didn't need a code breaker because the plan didn't work.
No.
But, like, what were the stakes there? Getting caught by the space police again?
Yeah, because they parked bad.
I think he literally refers to them as cops.
Yeah, he says...
Finn says cops.
He says the cops.
He calls them cops.
We gotta get out of here before those cops show up. And I was just like, what?
It was so dumb. And what's worse is that we come back to it in the end of the movie, which was a good bit, but like, I'm like, really? We have to be reminded of this after I was like, oh, thank God we're done with that.
Yeah.
Where it's just like the kid's like, I used the Force to grab this broom.
I grabbed a broom, and I've got a rebellion decoder ring.
Because she gave it to me.
Fuck Rose Tico, man.
Yeah.
I wanted her to die so bad. And then when he was just like, we need a med pack, I was like, oh no, they can save her.
I was unclear on what was happening. I thought that it was like were those stupid machines they were in? I thought there was like a gunner and a pilot.
I thought they balanced out. I thought
they were in the same
it's
one.
It's a B-Wing. It's the original design for the B-Wing where fucking it unfolds.
Okay.
And
I thought they were in the same one, and I was like, damn, Finn's cold, dude. He's gonna like, no, you're coming with me.
I was just like, why don't they have helmets or goggles?
Bro, it's an abandoned base. They took those with them when they left.
God. And they're making this... And that was another thing. They make this beeline charge Nothing happens. The Millennium Falcon shows up. And she grabbed all of them. I was like, Jesus, Poe. That was a terrible line.
I forget exactly what it says, but it was a little bit like, whatever.
She's like, she distracted them. All of them. And I was like, oh, God.
And it was because, like, Kylo was, like, off the fucking rails.
Yeah, Kylo lost his mind.
And he's just like, blow that piece of shit from the sky, and I liked that.
Oh, yeah.
And then it was just like, yeah, they did. They hate that ship. And I was like, oh, much. Take it back. Yeah. Take it back.
Tone it down.
Yeah, the movie's just a mixed bag, but what it does right, it does great.
Yeah. Pretty much anytime you go back to the Resistance, it's terrible.
Yeah, except for the beginning. It set it off like it was like, these guys are dope.
Yeah.
Fucking the little back and forth they have with the First Order is pretty dope. And then it was like, all right, what's their plan now? But at the same time, I really liked everything Poe Dameron did, and I liked Laura Dern until she didn't matter.
I wish that they had done more with Poe and Leia and Laura Dern. Yeah. Holdo.
Also,
Holdo, was that her name?
Holdo. Yes, Holdo. Yeah.
Also, Holdo, Leia, and Poe. I really wanted more.
Whatever her name is, fucking Leia's
daughter.
Leia's real daughter.
Carrie Fisher's real daughter. Yeah, she was.
She was all right too.
She did a lot in this movie, and I wanted to see more of her. Yeah. But yeah, dude, no, more of Poe learning how to be a leader would have been great. Much less of Finn, which makes me sad because I loved Finn in Force Awakens.
It goes to show how
just murder Rose.
Yeah, it just goes to show how different of movies they are. Like,
yeah. No, I think
it's gonna be weird going from where this ended right back into another JJ directed movie.
I know. I don't know what they're gonna do. It's
the thing is they reset everything.
Yeah,
like there can be no comparisons after this. This is the comparison to end all comparisons because they shoved two movies into one.
No, and God, dude, and that was the thing where I was just like, oh God, we're gonna have another big fight.
Yeah,
you know, and that was the thing, and it was just like we've gone from Return, now it's Empire, and I was like,
it wasn't bad, but at the same time, I'm just kind of like, guys, how many?
Yeah,
until they
when Luke walks out to face Kylo, I just went, oh my God, like because I was just like, how much longer is this gonna go?
Yeah,
I felt like they just like no more. We need more. We need more. And I feel like they have blown their entire load of fan service by now.
Okay, but at the same time, I agree with you because I was kind of like, okay, like, how are we going to do this? But I was also fucking terrified that the credits were going to roll as he was walking out.
That's interesting. That never entered my mind.
Because I was like...
I thought we were going to get a full fucking crazy fight. Like, and we brought this up, but we never wrapped it up. Luke does this amazing thing. He's not really fucking there.
He's not there.
He is projecting himself across space and time to be on this planet. And you see Kylo cut through him very easily. And it's just like, well, it's a fucking lightsaber. No wonder he sliced. Because he slices through Snoke. Like,
and you're like, and he's going to turn around and he's just not going to be there.
Yeah.
It's going to be like,
I was waiting for like a top half to fall off. And I was dreading that moment. I was like, oh God, don't do
That's
fucking...
too much for Luke.
Don't do
That's
shitty...
not an accent for Luke.
Yeah, I was like, don't do shitty fucking kung
Darth
fu...
Maul.
Don't do bad kung fu movie. Slice in half kind of thing where he says something or he goes, and then like you see his fucking body separate. I was like, don't do that, and then he stabs him again, and I was like, oh, he's not fucking there. And then you get this great reveal of Luke light years away on the planet using every bit of himself to have this moment and to inspire. And it was so good.
And I would say, like, why didn't they just have him go there? But it was good because it made the audience kind of question what was happening. Because, like, we had clearly seen that he was never planning to leave that planet.
Yeah.
His fucking X-Wing is fucking gone.
Oh, that was a great shot.
It is way down in the ocean.
He drowned that fucker. He's not leaving. No. He didn't leave on it. He could have brought it back and maybe fixed it, but that would have been days.
Doubt it. Yeah.
That would have been days. No, and I thought it was a great, because you see that bit with the walkers and him getting annihilated, and I was like, this is a bit
It's
much.
a little much.
Especially when he walks out of it, but then you see this great display of power through this projection that he does. I thought that was amazing. And it's funny because they set it up earlier in the movie, and I didn't even pick up on it.
They did.
Because Kylo tells her, the effort of this would kill you. And she's just like, what the fuck are you talking about? And I didn't even pick up that was like a fucking, foreshadowing.
Yeah.
It didn't seem like foreshadowing at all.
It didn't.
And then Luke does it, and it's just
That's another thing. It's just kind of like...
And then
it was in service of... Okay. The real life circumstances make it seem like it was in service of nothing.
Yeah.
Because, rest in peace, Carrie Fisher is dead.
Oh, yeah.
But he did it to save the rebellion.
Yeah.
And to save his sister.
Yeah.
And to, I guess give Rey hope or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's like...
He was the spark.
He did it, yeah. I was going to say, like, he just kind of fucked with Kylo.
Yeah.
And then it's like, he died doing what he did.
Yeah. I thought it was great, dude.
He became one with the Force.
I thought it was... Dude, and the way they handle it, you get that great throwback shot.
Oh, yeah.
To him watching the sunset on Tatooine.
And then you got the Yoda. It's
it's
less Obi-Wan
so
because Obi-Wan
great
got
because
cut down,
like he just disappears slowly and then the cloak fucking flies away. It was a great shot, dude. I so many beautiful shots in this movie. When they first start fighting the Praetorians.
Oh yeah.
In that red in Snoke's throne room,
which
I think is beautiful.
And it's just
you get that badass red curtain and them being all red, and you get this great wide angle shot.
I couldn't handle it, man.
It was beautiful.
That shit was intense.
That was amazing. And then
and I knew it wasn't gonna last, but in the moment I was like, we're getting it's like what the prequels could have been.
Exactly.
It's just two Jedis.
Well, dude, it's what I've said all the time, always about Kylo. He is the Anakin that we deserved.
Yeah.
And then you get this great, and then another shot that I absolutely loved was Leia with her face covered.
Oh yeah.
Looking out across the salt desert. That was beautiful. And then that whole end bit with Luke. Absolutely gorgeous, dude.
Yeah.
Some very beautiful shots in this movie, which sucks because there's so much CGI that I feel like a lot of these more beautiful artistic pieces get buried underneath it, and it kind of makes me sad. But yeah, because even like some of the shots between Luke and Kylo during that fight are great.
Yeah.
Kylo just looking like a seething beast, and Luke just looking like calm serenity. Fantastic. Mm-hmm. Yeah, dude. And you know what, dude? It happened. The more we've talked about it, the more I've realized that I really like that movie. There's a lot to not
because, like
I
said, it's
there's a whole half of the movie that can be done.
If you were mad enough about the bad parts, you would want to focus on them, and the fact that we have not wanted to focus on them is like, yeah, it sucks. But what it does good is what stands out about the movie.
Yeah, dude. I really...
So don't get it twisted. We understand this movie has flaws out the wazoo.
Oh, yeah.
What it does good, it
does
great.
It does fantastic.
And it answers questions. It expands. There's not a lot of world building within the
it expands
political
landscape.
But like the Force...
Oh,
there's a
God, I didn't
beast.
even get into that. The Force is back to being space magic. And it is terrifying.
And it
is unknowable.
And I was going to say, there's not a lot of rules anymore.
No. When she goes down into the hole, into the darkness that's on the island, because there's dark and light.
I was going to talk about that. I forget when, but you were talking, and I was like, he has a thought. Let him finish. Dude, it was something with it was like the storytelling of it. I loved it.
It was so amazing.
She's like, I'm like, is she narrating over what's currently happening? And I was like, oh
no.
wait, they're coming together right now. Like they're gonna like
Dude, was it you that I heard? Because at one point I heard somebody from that end go, "Oh, she's talking to Kylo."
Yeah, I don't think it was me, but
okay, because somebody said out loud, vocalized it. Oh shit, she's talking to. Because somebody said, "Oh shit, she's talking to Kylo right now." Because obviously they were having the same thought that you were. Because I had the same thought. I was like, "She outside her body?"
Yeah. And then I was like, oh no, she's talking to. I was like, she's not talking.
That's another.
I was like, she's not talking to Luke. Luke doesn't give a shit.
No, that is like, another series of shots that is amazing when she's doing the snap, and every copy.
And then
of her
she's like,
does
I knew it was going somewhere. I knew it was. And I was like, what just happened? I was like,
oh my god,
she's talking to somebody. And then I was like, she's talking to fucking.
Can we talk about the relief that I felt that she is nobody?
Oh, dude. Well, that's what I loved about Snoke, too. He's dead. Doesn't matter who he is. He's dead.
I would like to get some kind of explanation on the rivalry between Skywalker and Snoke. Just because I'm interested. Because there's so much there. And I'm just like, God.
Oh, and he was so fucking powerful.
He was so fucking powerful. Who the fuck is Snoke? I'm like, is he a Palpatine clone? Who the fuck is Snoke?
But dude, when he was just like, I know who your parents are. And I think, and you know too. Yeah. Why don't you just say it?
Yeah,
they're fucking nobody.
They're nobody. They're buried in a bullshit.
They sold you for beer money.
Yeah. Oh my god!
I think
we've talked about that.
It's not a direct quote, but he essentially says they sold you for beer money. Right?
Yeah. He said they sold you for drinking money.
Drinking money. Yeah. She got sold to Unkar Plutt
because you and I
have beer money.
Because you and I have talked like off cast and stuff like that about. What kind of fucked up person leaves their kid with that monster?
Yeah.
On that planet.
And it's funny. It's not...
Because, like, we were who is she?
It mixes the whole thing up where, like, she was delusional that somebody important left her there. Like, it wasn't us as the audience. It was her leading us to believe when she knew that she was just some fuckhead who...
You know what it reminds me of? Blade Runner.
Yeah. Oh, 2049.
Yeah, Blade Runner 2049. Because he believed he was... Spoilers for Blade Runner. He believed... We talked about it in the cast. He believed he was the baby.
He was much more led to believe that, whereas, like... She kind of...
No, that's true. That's true.
No, they'll be back. They'll be back, but like the whole time, and like Maz Kanata, and I really love that. I loved when Maz in Force Awakens when Maz Kanata told her like they're never coming back.
Yeah.
And then you come to find out like they never left. Like she kind of knew.
Yeah.
That
they sucked.
They did. There was not. Yeah. She had. As a child, was probably like, no, they just left me here because they have important shit to do.
Yeah.
And then it's like us as an audience, it's like she has the Force. Definitely, there's something important.
Oh yeah.
And then you find out
they were being hunted by Kylo.
Yeah.
And everything. Yeah. No, we fell into the trap of the Vader hunting down the last Jedis and stuff like that. Yeah. No, dude, that was it broke my heart for her, dude. Like God, dude, I was just like the realization of the truth.
Yeah.
It got me.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
And like I want to be.
It's so funny that we were. I feel like we were wrapping it up, and
it just sucks that Leia is alive in the story.
Yeah,
and I know
they're gonna do.
Carrie Fisher has passed away.
They're gonna do what we wanted them not to do. They're gonna write her out off screen.
Off screen, which is it's nothing you can do. But
I feel like Carrie Fisher deserved better.
It leaves kind of a hole because it's like Luke has to redeem himself posthumously.
Yeah,
and I was like, well, she still has people like Finn sucks now. Not as a friend, just as a character, I guess.
Yeah.
She was introduced to Poe Dameron in a weird way.
Dude, it was kind of like...
Her and Kylo are officially kind of like still kind of connected, but I'm glad they didn't redeem him, though. Fuck that guy.
No,
But,
I'm really glad they did.
I like the fake out because it led to such a great scene. But
dude, I really thought they were going to try to make.
No,
I really thought they were going to try to fucking redeem him. And
it would have been very interesting where they go forward in the trilogy from there, but at the same time, I'm like, fuck that guy.
Well, but the way it was going at that point, I was just like, how the fuck are you going to make a third movie when your villain is now a good guy and he just killed the big villain?
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh, it's you and me. And I was like, oh, okay, he's crazy. Yeah. I forgot about that.
Oh, that's right. No, he is kind of just a dick.
No, and then, but like, Luke got a good end.
Mm-hmm.
Han got a good end.
Yeah.
And it sucks that Leia's going to get his shit
and it just sucks that, like, because, like you said, it broke your heart. Like, she didn't have parents. Like, this whole time, she was kind of delusional. It's like, she has nobody.
Nope.
Because, like, I guess Luke, should he come back as a Force ghost?
She's
like,
got...
It was just implied with, like, that's why I'm really focused on that. Because, like, it's implied by Yoda, like, yo, bro, you can't let her go. You gotta get this done. Yeah. And, like, what did he do? Face down Kylo and die.
Yeah. Yeah.
What did that do for Rey?
She's got Finn, but what the fuck are they going to do with Finn in the third movie? They were I'm hoping JJ had a direction for
I was going to say,
and Finn.
That's kind of what kind of pisses me off, is like, the movie was in editing when Carrie Fisher died, so they're like, let's just keep it the same.
Yeah.
And then it's like, all right, we'll just leave it to figure out when we make the next one. That's like, no offense to JJ, because I prefer his directing style.
Yeah.
But the man is also co-writing it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I kind of want somebody else to figure that out.
Yeah.
Because he'll just be like, fuck it. It fucks up the pace of the movie. Which I admire, but at the same time, there was so much story in this.
Yeah.
Some of it was it was very bad.
Like we said, it's a dense plot.
Yeah. Some of it was very bad.
There's a lot
but I kind of want it to keep going.
Yeah.
And that's not JJ's thing.
Nope.
A good writer with JJ's direction could be gold.
Yes.
Whoever he's co-writing it with, I hope is a superstar.
Yeah, man. Well, it doesn't surprise me that they've said Rian Johnson from after this point.
To do a new trilogy, yeah. Letting him fucking go crazy. I'm like, with what he did here, I'm like, okay, as long as he doesn't,
just get him a good editor.
I was gonna say, as long as it's not all second act of this movie.
Just get him a good editor.
But yeah, you're right.
It's funny though, because like a lot of the complaints I had about this movie are a lot of the same complaints I have about Looper.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's definitely a Rian Johnson film. Fucking flawed masterpieces.
Yeah. Because holy shit, imagine if this was like a prequel, dude. If this is like one of the prequels.
I would have loved it as a prequel.
Yeah.
It would have been a great prequel.
So, and like I said, this is like well, I know it brings in like, hey, remember this and hey, remember that, like.
Yeah.
It's so all over the place and so its own story. Like, dude, I'm like...
Yeah, dude, I'm
never going to knock Force Awakens, and this has not made me feel any differently about Force Awakens, but I'm like, yeah, this is really doing its own thing.
No, it's just, by the time they started happening, and they were so lifted, the parts that I talked about earlier, about being lifted from Return and Empire, I was just like... Oh my god, dude.
Yeah, and not only that, they were in service of different things and twisted just a bit.
Just a bit, yeah. But it was just like, I was tired, I think, by that time. I was just like, oh my god, I don't care. And it was kind of like the way they flipped the script in Into Darkness.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, where I was just like, you don't need to do this. You can do anything. You've done your own thing for most of this movie. Why are you doing this?
Yeah.
No one needs this.
like I said, it bothered me less. And it was more me recognizing that people would say,
yeah,
oh, look, they're all lining up in a trench
yeah,
with incoming walkers.
Well, like, what?
And I'm like,
the one,
I get it.
The thing with that one, that, like, I was just like, I was willing to accept that it was a Battle of Hoth throwback. And I was like, oh, God, all right, whatever. And then that guy's like, it's salt. For no reason.
I just thought that was a weird
reason. And I was like, oh, okay. It's not snow, everybody. It's not the same.
See, that's a way to look at it. And I'm like, I'm not even going to argue with you.
Yeah.
But, like, I also was like, are they afraid people are going to be like, have never seen a salt flat?
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just a guy who knows what salt flats
Well, see, because,
like,
when the guy first stepped across, I was like, oh, that looks like a blood stain or something. And I thought that's what he was checking out. And then he's like, no. Oh, it's salt, everybody. Salt. That's different than snow. You know, it was just like, come on. Like, it was just funny to me. It wasn't bad to where, like, when she's riding up there in the elevator and they're both standing in the same positions and she's just like, there's conflict in you. And I was like, oh.
What I will...
Guys, you know, like that one got me where I was just like, guys, you're
what I will say is it's like okay, the whole plot has been going towards them barricading themselves in there.
Yes.
And now they're like, okay, deploy the things and let's go. It was like, okay, there's a reason why this is happening. It wasn't like Rogue One where it was like, remember walkers? Here they are. Like there was no big deal. It like just kept shooting. No.
Don't get me wrong. It was not Rogue One.
Yeah. No. Dude, I understand you completely. I'm bringing this up just off of my own thoughts. Because I was like, part of me should have been like, oh, yeah, it's all the walkers. Yeah, I get it. But it was kind of just like, they were in their cockpit doing their thing.
Yeah.
And they're doing their thing. And this is happening. I was like, yeah, it's just moving the plot forward. It wasn't just like, how do we get in the walkers? And I know there's a bit of merchandising and a bit of, we should do walkers again. But it just like, it was so late and inconsequential that I almost am like, I can't believe they kind of went for that. I feel like they would have wanted to been like, have that the main thing.
Yeah. It was just like I was willing to accept it. Like, and that's what I'm saying. It was just that one line where I was just like, oh, don't do that. Don't try to write it off. Right. Like, and I mean, like you said, though, that's one way to interpret it, dude. It's, yeah.
It is. Very dense movie. A lot of dialogue. A lot of things going on.
A lot of dialogue. A lot of character.
Yeah.
And it sucks because I wanted a little bit more of a clue into the world, the galaxy as it was, and you kind of shone a light on that for me. But like, and when I said I cannot debate the character development that goes on.
The problem that they couldn't deliver on that was the setting.
Yeah,
because it's literally like Mad Max Fury Road.
Yes.
Like,
it is a car chase.
It just takes place along a chase from one planet to another planet.
It is a car chase for the whole movie.
And then you intercut somebody on another planet.
Unfortunately, Mad Max Fury Road is done. But that, with fucking George Miller, like, he knows how to do that kind of plot line.
Yeah.
Ryan Johnson.
Don't get it twisted. I'm just saying, it was like a very vague comparison.
Oh yeah, no. It's funny because I drew that comparison myself.
Okay.
I was like, it's like Fury Road, but in space. It's just not done as well because they don't know how to do.
And I thought we were going to get more because it's like, oh, they're going to go to this planet, but it was like
that's what I thought.
It was just to get in a chase with the space cops and talk about how war is bad. So
yeah, no, yeah, that is where the movie falls apart. Yeah, it really is, and it sucks because that should have been the meat and potatoes of the movie. Yeah, dude. I don't know how he writes space magic so well and writes because like he does more movies about normal people.
Yeah.
Space magic is so fascinating. It's so well done, and then the normal people is just so shitty, dude, and it sucked. But like I said, dude, the more we've talked about it, the more I realize how much I really loved that movie.
It's what we focused on.
Yeah.
If you were upset about it, you would have just wanted to keep harping on the bad.
No, dude.
And we sat here for an hour not even mentioning it.
Every time Kylo and Rey were on screen doing that cross-galaxy conversation, whew, it really got me, dude. There was tension, there was drama, and it really got me. Everything Luke does is fantastic. Go see the movie, guys.
Yeah, definitely go see it.
If you have seen it and you're listening to us right now, I hope that we delivered for you.
I know this has been everywhere, but hopefully this has just been like helping you kind of get through what you're thinking about it. And
yeah, I feel kind of bad because we started off like we were going to go through it plot point by plot point, but we would have had to spend too much time on the plot points that we did not enjoy.
No, and like we don't want to explain the movie to you if you've seen it.
Exactly.
Spoilers. I just didn't want you to jump too far ahead when I still had things to talk about beforehand.
Yeah.
That was all I was doing.
Yeah.
I go see the movie. If you're listening to this and you spoil the whole thing, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, why did you listen to us?
But we're definitely going to talk about this more. We're going to see it again.
I'm going to see it again.
We'll probably have little bits and pieces here, but this is just us. Imagine you're just talking to your friends and just trying to get through this movie because it's dense, and I really, really enjoyed this episode.
Dude.
And I've been looking forward to it. I was looking forward to the movie. It was everything I could have hoped.
Yeah.
It's got its flaws.
Yeah.
But holy shit, did it answer a lot of questions and expand things that I wanted to know about.
Definitely character-wise, it expanded a lot for me, dude. I'm even more doubled down on Kylo being a very great character.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm even more interested in Rey than I was before.
Yeah.
I'm sad to see Luke go, man.
Oh yeah. We haven't seen the end of Luke.
It's so mystical, dude, and that's the thing, dude. It's so magical.
Yeah.
And I love it because the Force in this is so unknowable and so outlandish. Oh, God.
Instead of doing outrageous shit like...
He took the Force back to being magical.
Yeah.
And that's what I love.
And on top of that, it's like what it does... Instead of like, okay, Darth Vader, like, I'm going to pull a fucking Star Destroyer from the sky and crush it to bits.
Yeah.
It was kind of like, we're communicating through the Force. I'm projecting myself in a different place.
Yes.
We're feeling
the
circle of life through the Force and what it is. And yeah, and like, I'm like, okay, this shit, it makes sense to me.
It was beautiful.
Midichlorians, am I right?
I love that they cast that. That's just out the fucking window, dude. It's back to being just straight up magic, dude. There's a light.
Luke?
And a dark.
We're talking about
there's
a movie.
Balance between the
We're
middle.
talking about a movie right now, Josh. That Luke Skywalker said Darth Sidious.
I know. And he did it was actually acceptable.
And it was like a crazy, like, wow.
It was acceptable.
This guy's... Whew.
Oh, man. No. Good movie.
Yeah.
Good movie.
I recommend it. It's a lot to go through. These are our initial thoughts. We're all over the place, but hopefully you're in the same place we are. This has been really fun. We're on all major podcasting sites, including Stitcher, iTunes, Google Play. We're on YouTube. We are Mighty Fish Productions. We are on Twitter at Mighty Fish Pod, twitch.tv/Mighty Fish Productions.
We're going to start using that more.
Yeah. Thank you for listening.
Thanks a lot, guys.
I am Ryan.
I'm still Josh.
And we will catch you fucking A. I don't know when. But next time.
We're going to try to get a Christmas episode out for you guys.
No, we have the Christmas episode coming. You're right. All right, bye.
Bye.